Toward the end of the first half, Draymond Green was ejected after being called for a flagrant 2 on Brandon Clark as he was going up for a layup. Then at the end of the game, Klay Thompson hit a go-ahead 3 with 36 seconds left to put Golden State up 1. Ja had a chance to win it, but missed a shot at the buzzer. Tough shot. Still good defense by the Warriors. In Game 2, it was the Ja Morant show. You knew he was going to go off. He had 47 in the 106-101 win. He became the third player in NBA history to have multiple 45-point games in the playoffs before the age of 23. The other two, LeBron and Kobe. John is special. Windy. Is there pressure on Steph Curry to outplay Ja Morant in Game 3? And I ask because he has yet to be the best player in any final series he has been in. Ja is like the same size as him. He's ascending, and he's been the best in the first 2 games of the series. Is there pressure on Steph?
Yeah, I know why you're asking this. He hasn't shot the ball well at all in this series so far. He's been okay, but he hasn't been great. And the Warriors' offense has struggled a little bit at times, especially in Game 2. They had a really poor shooting night. So I see why you're saying that. And yes, I think they do need to get more from Curry, but I don't think on the level of things that's a problem for them, it's at the top. I think they got to worry about how they're going to replace Gary Payton as a lead defender on Ja. I think they got to worry about how they can get some other players going. I think they got to worry about their, quote unquote, new death lineup has kind of been getting hammered a little bit. So it would be great if Steph shot the ball better when he came home, but I don't think we're quite at the crisis stage there.
Although, because it's very difficult to remember all the details, right? History, we assign the credit and the blame to singular figures. It's just easier to tell the story with those characters. And to Steph's great credit, he, largely because of his presence, his teams win a lot, right? The ball doesn't stick with him. He's easy to play with. He's a great player. But Windy, if and when they lose, and he hasn't been the best, doesn't he have to be the best player on the floor one time at least? Like he's going to let Ja eat his lunch this way?
This is a really polarizing topic. I have locked horns with people about Curry numerous times, and you're rubbing up against it here. I'm a massive believer in the greatness of Steph Curry. I don't know where you rank him, but he changed the game, multiple-time MVP. Is the fact that he's never been the best player in the finals, been transcendent in the finals, is that a pockmark on his resume? It is. It doesn't change the fact that I believe this dude could easily score 40 on Saturday and lead them to victory, or in Game 4, because I have a huge belief in him. But if you are Steph and you're seeing what Ja is doing and you're looking at yourself shooting 40% in this series, do you say I need to maybe set a tone coming out in Game 3? Yeah, but I don't think it's something that's what the Warriors have to have. I think they can win a lot of different ways.
I think you're probably right. Just this idea, well, he's a jump shooter, and if you miss sometimes they don't go in. But now is when they have to go in. If you're one of the greatest players all the time, they got to go in now, is my feeling about it. Windy, Chris Paul was once again amazing last night. Why is he in this Suns team? Oh, how are they so efficient in the fourth quarter? He's small. He's old. He should not be able to do this. How is he doing it?
I've spent a lot of time with the Suns this year, and I covered their entire first round. And I can tell you that Chris Paul calibrates everything he does during a game to maximize in the fourth quarter. He lowers his workload earlier. The Monty Williams takes pressure off him by sometimes having other people bring up the ball. His rest is just so. They have a special package of plays that they save for that fourth quarter. Max, when you watch Chris Paul get ready to enter the game in the fourth quarter, it's like watching a boxer. He sits on the last seat on the bench. The fourth quarter comes, he stands up, unwraps himself from towels, drinks some mystery drink, strides into the game, and starts wreaking havoc. And conversely, they target Luka Doncic from the moment the tip-off happens to wear him out, to make him do things during the game, to wear him out, because they know that they can wear him out into the fourth quarter. It's something that they've been working on for months, perfecting. And look, it may not work every game. They're not going to win every fourth quarter, but they are maybe the most focused, dominant fourth quarter team on a regular basis that I've covered, and that is their path to a championship if they can keep it up.
So, and I think I'll pick them to win the championship. I can't tell if it's because I want Chris Paul to get one so bad, but I think they probably have the best chance of any team right now. But I want to get back to Luka. You've already answered a question I had for you on Luka, like what are they doing to exploit him defensively? They kind of wear him out, right? But there's something else about Luka's offensive game. He can score at will. He's amazing. Every year of his career, he's among the very greatest who ever played at that age, right? But guys like Brunson, Windy, step up when he's not playing. But when he is playing, the surrounding cast doesn't always play very well because a guy who drew a lot of comparisons to LeBron James early on is getting more and more James Harden comparisons, right? Are the Suns doing anything? Are they aware of this? Are they exploiting it in any way?
Well, they've definitely targeted Brunson. They've been able to get him into foul trouble early in the first 2 games, and that's taken him out of rhythm. He's only shooting 25% because they can really put length on him and make it harder for him to get clean looks. They have definitely tried to limit him and take him away. You know, with Luka, there is a lot of comparisons to LeBron. And I would say that early in LeBron's career, this exact same thing would happen. He would dominate games, especially in the playoffs. And when he sat down, the team would kind of collapse and they would rely on him to do everything at both ends of the court. And it took a while for his teams to figure out how to balance their roster to mostly maximize him. It really didn't happen until he was with the Heat and Eric Spoelstra figured out we're going to play Chris Bosh at center and completely spread the floor. So it may just take a couple of transaction cycles for the Mavericks to figure out how to perfectly calibrate and take advantage of him. And also, he has got to get better defensively. His size, I understand how hard he works on offense. It is not acceptable for him to be as poor defensively as he is with the size that he is. He will get better, I promise.
No, they're going right at him and they're scoring at will on him. Thank you, Windy.
Easily.
Come back in a playoff series down 0-2 ever. But wait, there's more bad news from Philly. Here's Doc.
I don't even know all of them. I mean, besides, the concussion protocols, he has to get through all that and all the other stuff with the injury. When guys go down in the playoffs, they often have to come back with no work, and that makes it very difficult for them when they come back. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to play great, or sometimes they do. You just don't know.
Brian Windhorst and former NBA champion Kendrick Perkins with me. Windy, if Joel Embiid is not able to go in Game 3, is tomorrow in Philly a must-win? Is it even a can-win for Philadelphia?
It's absolutely a must-win, Max, because if they go down 0-3, you might as well not bring them back in Game 4, and no one's won that series before. And Doc sort of talked in circles today. It's not clear whether Embiid has not yet cleared the concussion protocol, because concussion protocol you can't rush, much less the orbital bone. He mentioned both topics. So I'm just going to have to wait until a couple hours from now when the Sixers are expected to turn in their injury report and status update for tomorrow's Game 3. I'll tell you this, though. The Miami Heat are preparing for Embiid to play tomorrow. Whether or not he actually can, we may have to wait until tomorrow to get a firm answer on that.
Perk, they ought to put that whole team in concussion protocol the way Miami been beating them up. James Harden said post-game, Perk, there were positives to take out of Game 2. Were there? And do they need, there were positives? What do they have to do in Game 3 if Embiid can't go, Perk?
The only positive that I got out of Game 2 is that they have a bright young star in Tyrese Maxey. That's the positive that I got out of that game.